streaming for my YouTube account. Lately here on YouTube, I've been my reception hasn't been very good, so just giving a test run. So I decided to do a live video. Hello, as you all come in, drop your city and your state. I was just reading some reports on the recession and pertaining to the recession, seeing that the federal government now is saying that President Trump's terrorists is doing Marshall Islands. Tell me where Marshall Islands is from. Marshall Islands. I'm looking for, okay, here we go. Marshall Islands in the house. Hello, I got a lot of people on my Periscope. A lot of people on my YouTube. You all make sure you hit the thumbs up. I had some people on my YouTube that hit the thumbs down, but whatever it is, do what you do. Just participate, right? Middle of the ocean, big old ocean, Marshall Islands. All right, glad to join in. I'm the queen of credit. If you never tune into one of my Periscopes or my live videos of training, I do credit restoration, cash flow, enhancing strategies. Do your W-4 that you all know. Put yes or no in. For example, that we have a new and updated W-4. And let me get all a new and updated W-4 for 2020. So what that means in short is that basically you should know how to make those adjustments on your W-4, because you can either be losing money, right, out of every paycheck, or you can be giving too much of it away. And so if you know the right way to do it, hello, Lady Lake, Florida. Can you all hear me well on my YouTube as well? Is my reception good? Let me know if I'm coming in and out on YouTube. I really hate that. I got a lot of people coming in on my Instagram as well. Timothy, thank you. You said you can hear me well. I have my AirPods in for my Facebook. So hold on, let me get Facebook set up. So the W-4 for 2020 has changed. So that means a lot of the allowances are off. Let me see, can I find my notes on that? I didn't mean to go into the W-4. Let me get into credit. And if I can't find my note, then I will do a video on that for another day. I was studying it today. And so, you know, those are a lot of changes that if people don't know, they can't understand how to update their W-4 on their jobs. They could be losing a lot of money, and they could be gaining so much money if they adjust it right. Because when you give it to the government, right, throughout the year out of your paycheck, it comes back to you in form of a refund, which means you get that money back, refunded back to you if you're overpaying on that W-4, and at 0% interest. So you're giving a government an interest-free loan all year. So YouTube, let me know. I got a new laptop. I have student loans. YouTube, you all not playing tonight. You coming straight in. I hit the like button. Thank you so much, Rick. You have the best credit info for education. Thank you so much. Periscope said that is correct concerning the W-4. Theo, I have student loans, $69,000. Should I use Navient? I've heard bad things about them. And Theo says my sound is bad. Oh my God, when you go live on so many platforms, you get so many questions at one time. Periscope. So we have to pay you for the W-4 wealth training. Yes, you have to pay to get that information. I was listening to one of Les Brown's video today. And Les Brown says before you ask anything, you should give, right? Before you ask, you should give. So yes, all of these services are consulting services, but I wouldn't say you're paying. It's an investment, right? It's an investment in your financial future. Sorry, Facebook, I just put my hand all in that. Facebook, let me make this adjustment. It's an investment in your financial future, and it will give you, okay, Let's Brown video used to stay playing Department of Labor. Yeah. It will give you a more return on your money. Anytime something that you put your money in gives you a ROI, which is a greater return than what you're giving it into, and we're talking about $200 to $600 a month coming back into your paycheck. So I want to ask you all this. Going into 2020, my motto, my mantra, my mission is to get people to have more of a 2020 vision, right? More of a 2020 vision. I heard someone say that people should not have a 2020. Oh, I'm sorry. Let me stand up. So I'm not bossy. I'm the queen. That's my shirt. So my YouTube can see my shirt. And I will answer their questions on Student Loan Theo. Just hang with me. Easy said, hello from Georgia. Sonia, Georgia. I hope that we can meet together soon. I got the champagne and wine for you New Year's. Oh, easy. Easy. Hello. Don't know who you are. Nice to meet you. Speaking of Georgia, easy. You all, I'm gonna have to stay focused. But speaking of Georgia, I know credit repair is not legal in Georgia, right? They have so many issues with the FTC, and Darius Cooks, for example, a big chef on large restaurants. He's big on Periscope as well. Just got fined like $150,000 for doing, the credit repair services out of Georgia. So there's not a lot of people that offering those services out of Georgia, because Georgia was one of those states that had a lot of issues with the FTC. If you don't know what the FTC is, it's the Federal Trade Commission. And oftentimes people file FTC reports through the Federal Trade Commission, for example, whenever they are trying to claim that they are victims of identity theft. And so, easy, appreciate that. What do you want to meet about, though? So, how many of you all? Oh, okay, Rick, that's great. California's minimum wage is going to $15 an hour. Good stuff. I just came from California. I was able to attend the Lakers game, the biggest, highest ticket price sale tickets in the history of the NBA. And I'm grateful that I was able to attend that. And I was able to attend that based off of credit, right? I used my credit card like I would a debit card. I use my credit card like I would my debit card. It means paying my utilities, my bill, everything that I could pay with my debit card that I could use my credit card for. And because of my good credit, I was able to get enough reward points throughout the year. I saved them for the year just for this travel. So my motto or my mantra is that my credit cards pay me money to travel. I don't pay to travel with my credit cards. So let me say that again. My credit cards pays me money to travel. I do not pay to travel with a credit card, right? So I accumulated about $1,000 in cash back. I redeemed that in December. My daughter and I went, a friend, and, was able to get VIP tickets, VIP access, box seats, premier seats. It was a great experience. So California is so beautiful. The people treated me so nice. I know we call Mississippi the hospitality state, but California was so hospitable. So Wanda on Facebook, yes, I did receive your consultation, pay or investment for $50. Credit report, we'll look at that first thing Monday morning. Sawanda from North Carolina. So yeah, I received that, Sawanda. Thanks so much for investing in yourself and your credit health. So let me ask these questions. How many of you all have goals that you want to achieve, whether it's financial goals, fitness goals, health goals, whatever it is you want to achieve for 2020? Let's get you started on achieving those goals right now. I talk about very openly my divorce that happened in 2018. Oftentimes, people always have setbacks in life, whether it's divorce, whether it's some type of unexpected failures, whether it's some type of job loss, or just disappointments, right? Everybody has setbacks, right? Everybody have something that they're going through. It just may be a certain time in their life where their time frame is better than other. Some it's always something going through. But I strongly believe in Ecclesiastes that says, "Money answereth all things." That means that word "answer" there in Ecclesiastes, and I'm talking about the best-selling book on financial prosperity, the Bible. And Ecclesiastes says money answers all things. And what that means is money explains all things, right? If I look at some people credit report, then I can tell at what time in their life from looking at their credit report that they went through some type of setback, some type of disappointment, some type of failure, some type of unexpected divorce. Maybe it was a planned divorce, and then you found out that maybe your husband or your ex-wife, they pay an account that you all had as they agreed, and it set you back on your credit score. What services are you able to provide a Georgia resident? I live in Mississippi. Credit repair is totally legal here. Just no one that lives in a resident of Georgia can do credit repair services. So I offer people credit consultation services. It's not a done for you product. It's a done with you, meaning that you have to get affidavits and things done. You have to work with me. You have to email and notify me of what you receive in the mail, of what your disputes are. We have to be co-working together, right? It's not you just sit back, twiddle your thumbs, and I know what's going on. Everyone gets their credit reports results in the mail. And Experian is really, really great about offering those results online, right? It's very user-friendly with Experian. Other Equifax and TransUnion offer it as well, but Experian is very user-friendly. So if you all stay with me all the way to the end, I'm going to show you or explain to you why Experian, TransUnion, Equifax are very, very different entities. They're all credit reporting agencies, but they don't, what one reports, the other two may or may not be reporting, right? And so we can look at Experian, Equifax, TransUnion, like McDonald's, Burger King, and Wendy's, right? McDonald's, Burger King, and Wendy's. So all of them are burger joints, but all of their products and services are different. And so that's why the prerequisites to get started is you first must pull your credit report and email it to me so I can look at all three at one time to see the disparities of what they're reporting, what they're reporting differently, what they're reporting alike. For example, if you go and apply for a credit card, they may pull from Experian. It may be a hard pull against you in your credit report, but they may not necessarily pull from Equifax or TransUnion, or they may pull from all three. So sometimes people will say, well, I have Credit Karma. Well, Credit Karma does not show your Experian report. That's why your credit scores vary. That's why they are all different across the board, because all three different credit agencies, and I call them agencies because people are in the habit of calling them bureaus, and they are not called bureaus. And I make that plain and clear because people think that these are government entities, right? They think that it's operated by the government. It's a bureau, it's an FBI or some type of organization. A lot of people think that about Federal Reserve and taxes. But the Federal Reserve, just like the credit agency, is a big private business. A lot of people say, hey, they're wasting my tax money on this impeachment. Your tax money does not go towards what you think it goes towards. It does not go towards building better roads or highways or funding the school systems, right? The Federal Reserve is owned by private wealthy, rich families, and they loan money to the government, and they're not a government entity. And so your tax dollars is not going to the government. It's going to those families like the Rockefellers, the Rothschilds, the Carnegies, all of those wealth and richer families. But I don't want to get into that. So what you want to do is when you have these setbacks, I already got into it, so let me just get back focused here. And so things happen in your life you anticipate, and sometimes you want to give up. But the great thing about your credit, that you don't have to be in that bondage for 7 to 10 years. And I'm saying 7 to 10 years because collections can stay on your credit report up to 7 years, bankruptcies up to 7 years, charge-offs up to 7 years. If you have a Chapter 10 bankruptcy, a Chapter 13, that's 10 years. But they don't have to, right? They don't have to. So I love helping people in the sector of building their financial wealth, or building, having comebacks, or dealing with those setbacks in life, because I had a setback, right? I had a divorce, and I've done it for myself, and I'm passionate about helping others. I've had some clients who their husbands just passed away, right? Or some people say, look, I want to file bankruptcy. I don't even have the income to file a bankruptcy, and I have bad credit. What do? I just have my Social Security is my only source of income, and I'm retired, right? Some people just have health issues, and they have collections that have been sold to medical collections in the thousands and thousands of dollars and the 5 digits, and they had these unexpected setbacks. Life happens. But the thing about your credit, once you get the professional help you need, those setbacks can be reversed, right? It is help from that. And a lot of people say all the time that, hey, I can fix my own credit, right? And my question to them almost is all the time is, if you can fix your own credit, then why is it still broken? Why is it not fixed? Why is it still bad? Because up to the year 2000, what you all may not know, up to the year 2000, only attorneys could help people restore or repair their credit. And this is just 19 years ago. Yeah, Philip, that's a good point. Up to the year 2000, these were the only people that could help you restore, because the credit, what people don't understand is that the credit laws start from 601, right, all the way to 629. And as much as most people know about credit repair is they get these free letters and free templates from the internet that states, well, according to Fair Credit Reporting Act, I'm asking for a verification of debt. So I want you all to keep this, or replay the video, or rewatch it as many times as you need. The only time that you need to ask for verification of debt, and then you have to know what section in 609 that says that. 609 is a very long and broad law under the Fair Credit Reporting Act. So what section of the 609 states that? Because it's not just 609, it's tied into 609 and 610, right? And so once you know that law, then you have to know when to apply it, because then you only need to ask for verification of documentation with your signature on it on installment loans. Installment loans. So what are installment loans? Examples are and bankruptcies. I say and bankruptcies, because once you file bankruptcy, for example, did you know that bankruptcies do not report to credit agencies? The courthouse, nowhere, no country, no port, no county, right? Do they, no, not 611, but I will get on 611 on Periscope, Nora. They do not report to TransUnion, Equifax, or TransUnion. They hire, this is what they do. They hire third-party companies, right? Third-party, smaller collection agencies. So you all only know about the big ones, Equifax, TransUnion, Experian, but there are other smaller collection agencies that the big business, the big collection agencies hire to research county documents to manually add these accounts. And so when you file for bankruptcy, you have to file in blue ink a petition. So that's where a lot of these free templates get that language or that jargon from is, I want verification of this account in blue ink with my wet signature, right? But other installment accounts that require your signature for you enter into a contractual agreement and includes foreclosures. If you have a vehicle that's been foreclosed on, repossessions, houses that's been foreclosed on or repossessions, and which does not require your wet ink signature, but often an e-sign signature, is student loans, right? B said, wow, did not know that. Hello, B. Hello, Miss Marks. Good evening to you. Thank you so much. So, so this is when you need to know what law. Now, you don't need to use this in accounts that you have charge-offs account with credit or charge or store charge cards. Thank you for the digital love, Facebook. You don't need that because a credit card does not require your wet ink signature. A charge card does not require your wet ink signature, meaning you can go to a store and they say, hey, would you like to receive 20% off your total purchase today by applying for our card? So retail stores, you don't have to have a wet ink signature. You go online, you enter your information, your personal information, your social security, your income, how many years you live at an address, and then you're approved or not approved. So this is why you need to get your credit fixed. You need to have 20/20 vision for 2020, because credit can be your best friend or your worst enemy, right? I just made some posts on my Facebook, for example, that shows, my laptop just went out. Let me see what's going on. They're showing that the federal government now is saying, hey, President Trump, right? The terrorist that he's doing is showing more worse than good. So we're already in pre-recession. We have over 9,000 stores that have let me see what's going on. Okay, let me get this back up, get my lighting back up. We have 9,000 stores that have filed bankruptcy or went out of business already just for the year 2019. And so I asked the question to many, what will happen, right? What will happen, for example, if, and this is not something I read on news. I'm not, trying to scare anyone or have a scare tactic, but I just ask people thought-provoking questions. America so quickly and so soon forget, and let me get this set up. Okay, there we go. We so quickly and so soon forget that just beginning of this year, for example, just beginning of 2019, that the government was shut down and tax returns were delayed, right? People had to wait to file their tax return, and people that had those federal government jobs, just one paycheck, they were, very frantic, they saying, hey, I can't afford to be one paycheck. And that's for many of Americans right now. Let me get this set up. That's for many of Americans right now. One paycheck, 1 month of miss or stagnant income, and you know what? You're at ground zero. You're at ground zero. So if you don't have the credit and you don't have the cash flow, right, then you are in a catastrophe. Let me get this set back on Facebook. And I also have in my co-caption, real versus fake rich, right? I'm going to discuss that, real versus fake rich. Hallelujah, I am that I am. I don't know who that is on YouTube, but if I need a moderator to block some of these people, I surely will do that on YouTube, because I'm just going to be honest with you, people, and people don't really like honestly sometimes, but there are a lot of people that I deal with that have bad credit. They also have mental issues, right? And it's just a part of, you have people that have mental issues, all the time. But some of the things with bad credit is, and I'm in a public school system, so I know this. It's a lack of reading comprehension. Most people or reading at a very elementary stage level. And a lot of people, they can't comprehend simple things. And it's got to be something mental that's going on with them, right? And so, and I'm that's a small percentage. So because I teach and I work with people like that and children and youth like that all the time, I try to work with adults that are like that, even with their credit, right? And so, number thing I want you to get, everybody have setbacks, right? But you can get your credit, and you definitely need to get that credit straight for 2020, people. I'm telling you. Thank you so much for the $10 super chat. I really appreciate that on YouTube. Be Wiz, Benevolence, thank you so much. If you have any questions behind that super chat, I definitely will try my best to answer that, because I believe you have to give before you ask, right? You have to give before you ask. And so this one client that I'm working with, been working with since June of this year, and I told him this would not be an easy process, because this client has 11, a total 11 charge-offs and collections. So as of today's date, 6 charge-off and collections for the total amount of 14,653 have been deleted. And then this client has 60,650 more charge-offs. 6 charge-offs are still remaining. 5 installment loan and only 1 collection, right? So 6 charge-offs are still remaining. 5 installment loans that have been charged off. Out of those 5 installment loans, Midland Funding is 4 of them. So what happened with, Midland Credit, Midland Credit, but this was an installment loan. So in this client's case, they have to ask for verification or signature with the installment loans, but not with the charge-offs that are remaining. And the reason why the charge-offs are still remaining is because the charge-offs are with very, very big, well-known credit cards like American Express, Capital One, and then it's another installment loan from Lending Club, right? So we got 4 from Midland Credit Management, and then 1 for Lending Club, and all of those are over 4,008, right at $30,000, right? So some smaller charge-offs. Thank you, Theo. Thank you so much for the $10 super chat. I need to go live on Saturday night more often on YouTube. I'm so glad my connection is going strong. I invested in a better laptop on YouTube. So I'm going to watch this replay to make sure how the visual, everything is looking. But as far as I know, my internet connection has not skipped out. And then the other charge-offs are Discover, second round collection is $9,000. So the big companies, the Discover, the Amex, and Capital One are remaining. But Wells Fargo, 2 Barclays charge-off, LVNV Funding, and Credit One. Credit One is not a big company. Those are usually very easy charge-offs to get deleted from credit reports. But I'm telling you all, when the debt amount is this big, right? When the debt amount is this big, the bigger the debt, the harder the giant to fight. The harder the mountain to climb. But I'm not giving up on this client. I'm really expecting to see within the next 30 days that these remaining 6 charge-offs and 5 installment and that 1 collection is deleted. And that's going to be over $75,000 of debt deleted off this client's credit report. Now, a lot of people ask me, with student loans, for example, if the student loan is deleted, right, off of my credit report, does that mean I still have to pay the student loan? And the answer to that is yes. Yeah, thank you, Rick. These are huge debt. And I'm going to be honest with you all. This client was very impatient. They started in June. They wanted instantaneous results. And yeah, that is big, Sawanda. And, it was just, I'm like, you know what? You don't have a Hollister charge off or American Eagle from one of these little retail stores. You have you got American Express, Discover, Capital One, Barclays, and Wells Fargo. We're in the big leagues here. I'm not, but I looked at it. Uh, the client got frustrated and just told me I charged him very little. But what made me want to really take on this client's credit is when I analyzed their credit report, I saw that something happened in their life of September 2018, because that's when all the activity started in charge off. Now, I had a heart for this client, but because they was in a desperate situation, they were very rude. And I'm going to be honest, it probably would have been more than this by now, by December. But they told me, and I charged them very low because I said, I'm working on Experian first, and I'm going to tell you why. And I said, then I work on the other two. And they got very impatient. And after, I think, 60 days, they said, well, look, you just keep, it was only $650, right, for over $75,000 worth of debt. You just keep the $650. I do it myself. And I sat back for 30 days. But, I was like, next time, I'm just going to screen people that I work with. And I'm going to be more careful not to accept clients like that. I'm going to get more contractual in 2020. And I'm going to explain to this client the severity of their credit. And if they are in a rush, because what people don't understand is that you can get a credit sweep. You can get that done. You can get someone, you can pay them $2,500 to get a credit sweep. Have you ever got a Navy Federal card off before the statute of limitation? What do you mean, a Navy Federal charge off? On Periscope. And someone on YouTube is asking about how can they sign up for the cash flow strategy. Okay, let me put their website in. What do you have with Navy Federal, Nora? Is it a charge off, or is it a late payment on what specifically is it? And so this is the website to sign up for the cash flow W-4 training, to look at getting yourself a paycheck pay raise. My econ. Because you have to be tapped into a business. And you know what? They had a special, I should have put HTTP. They had a special going on with my econ for $27.95. My YouTube name is Queen of Credit. To sign up, I think, and you all can check this out for yourself. You definitely need to. I just came back from California, so I haven't really been on that website. But I think it's as low as $9. They have a Christmas special going on. $9.99, or it may be $19. But I mean, the $27 was down from the regular price of $99.99. So even if you go on and it's still $27, I just want you all to know that regular price is $99, usually $100 for that W-4 wealth. And they have a Christmas and holiday special going on now, and it is set to end next Wednesday on New Year's. So you definitely want to take advantage of that now. And so, yeah, this is what you do for that paycheck position. You definitely don't want to overpay the government, and you don't want to underpay. I can't type it. I'll type it in Periscope once I log off, but it's Money Mindset Moves. That's a MOVES .myecon. This is the home-based business, financial business that you have to go through to do it. At this point, when I read it on there, it was $49.99, but the prices have dropped in. My econ is MYECON.net, N-E-T. And you should see something that says LD Lifestyle Design Financial Coaching on this. That's my business corporation. And I will be your sponsor. Once you sign, I receive an email that you have enrolled. And then with that email, I will ask you questions like, how many allowances are you claiming now? Do you qualify for child tax credit? or dependents, you know, and then at the bottom of this page or any W-4, you have something that's called deductions. And deductions is what you get, right, once you tap into this home-based business. So you have to have the business kit, and it is a subscription of $34.95 a month. But with that $34.95, you keep the 475 deductions that's offered to you through the business. So what that means, real simple, Albert Einstein says, if you can't explain something to a 6-year-old, you don't know it well enough. So what this means in simple terms is that you're able to get more money out of your paycheck by reducing the amount you pay in federal taxes, right? Because they, you know, it's just saying that, you know, there's things in life that are certainty, there's death and taxes. So you reduce the amount that you're paying in federal taxes, and you increase the amount that you receive, because employees only receive six deductions, right? So and this business model teaches you, along with myself, I coach you through it, but this business model has the setup in the business to teach you how to complete their W-4. It's training videos once you sign up, and it's also a referral fee for you. Now, it won't make you rich, but hey, any extra income is great income that added for, like, if it's $27.95 for everyone that signs up under me. I think my referral is 50% of that, but the price is always fluctuate from $99 if they want to do any promotion, or $49. So let's say you get $50, then you get a $25 referral fee. And that's just cash flow for teaching people these strategies once I teach you. And let's talk about cash flow. Let's talk about different types of income. Now, you may not be able to see this, but this was something that Robert Kiyosaki, I watched one of his videos. I'm a big fan of his. If you have not read the book Rich Dad Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki, you definitely need to read this book. And if you can't see it that well, I apologize in advance, because it's hard for me to get all angles because I'm on so many different platforms. So Periscope can see a little better. And sure. Okay. Now I got Instagram, and okay, now everybody's pretty good. So what Robert Kiyosaki says is, are you real rich, right? Or are you fake rich? So I want you all to put that, make a mind message connection. If you're not driving, if you're available, if you're not drinking, put this in the comment, whether you're watching this live or on a replay. Are you real rich? All right, so that's not right in West. Are you real rich or are you fake rich? So he said, this is the cash flow. This is how the cash flow flows for many of Americans. They get a job, right? And they want a high paying job, right? And they want a 6-figure job. But he said, what happens for many of these Americans that have these 6-figure jobs is, trying to make sure I'm still good on Facebook, is that immediately when they get paid, their cash flow goes to paying taxes. So look at your paycheck. And I'm going to be honest with you. Just last week, I went online because my direct deposit, thank you so much. Are you real rich or fake rich? Right. Week to week, check with Theo. Let's get you beyond that. I don't want you week to week and your check anymore. Let's find $200 to $600 out of your paycheck. And so what happens is, as soon as you get that direct deposit, or as soon as you get that paycheck, the first person that get paid is not you, it's your taxes. They take your taxes out, and then, you know, they take other taxes out. They take your I can't even think of the name of it right now. But then some people have state taxes. If you're in Texas or Florida, it's not state taxes. But the first thing you see, your federal taxes, right? And then this is what the high middle class, the 6 figures. A lot of people say they're middle class from Mississippi. I don't know how this works in other states, but they're consider themselves middle class in Mississippi if they make $60,000 to $70,000 a year. You know, in California, from what I heard, in some places of Georgia, you're not even considered middle class with that type of income. You can't even survive. You need 6 figures, especially in New York. But some people in Mississippi consider themselves 60, 70,000. They consider themselves middle class, right? But I consider middle class anyone that's making six figures or more a year. And so then taxes get taken out of their check first. And then the next thing is their expenses. Your house, they go out, the middle class go out and buy houses, right? They go out and get houses. They want to finance. Then they get the luxury vehicles and the cars. They want to send their kids, for the most part, to private schools and the best schools, or they want to get, the little doodahs, and they want. I myself, I was in California. I'm gonna be honest. I looked at the Rolex watch, right? Or you look at the NBA players. They go out and they get the Porsche. They go out. Middle class get the Mercedes or the BMWs. They want those expensive car notes, right? And so then this is how their cash flows: job, taxes, luxury type lifestyle. And Robert Kiyosaki said these are the fake rich people, right? These are not the rich people. These are not the true rich people. He said, because true rich people, watch, check this out. He said true rich people get money from assets, and their money flows to income. Their job is not, their income does not come from working for money from a job. Their income goes to assets, come from their assets. What are some types? Well, his type of asset is real estate. He believes in cash flow and assets. Real estate, where people pay him on a monthly plan to rent or reside in his apartments complex that he have. So all his cash flow comes from investment. He owns gold mines, right? He buy land with oil. And all of this is cash flowing assets, all of these commodities, all of these futures contracts. And so by having his money come from his assets as his source of income, he bypasses paying taxes, because this money is not taxed like your job money. So he's not paying 36% tax out of his paycheck. That means for every dollar he earns, he's not bringing home 70 cents of that dollar. So this is how his cash flows. And then because his cash flow this way, and he bypassed these 36% taxes, or even 20% taxes if you're in Texas or Florida, coming out of his paycheck, now his income goes this way, and then he comes over here to buy his luxury. He says him and his wife, right? I bought the land that I live on, saving me a great deal of money. Yeah, good job, Rick. Rick, if you're, thank you so much. Rick, if you're low income, the only thing I can suggest to you is to find your skill. Find your skill if you wish to have a higher income, because a lot of people with low income, they're always in the debt cycle. They're always in the bad credit cycle because they don't have a mismanagement of credit problem. They have a I don't have enough money problem. And they're not using credit cards to live irresponsibly. They're using credit cards just to make groceries. They're using credit cards just to live. Sorry about that, Facebook. Let me adjust it. Just to live, period. Because their income is low. And so you have to find a skill or gift to something you can monetize, something you can offer, some services, right? And start offering people. I mean, we got young kids in college who's making $70,000 a year from investing in cryptocurrency, or investing in trading stocks. I'm reading a book now about trading penny stocks, right? And it doesn't have to be penny stocks, but either you have to find something that you want to offer the world in forms of a business. You can sign up, for example, for my econ for $27.95. You can learn the W4 wealth strategy, and then you can add to your income and make that a business if you want to. And it also help you write off your utilities you use in the house, things you use every day, my cell phone bill, my light, my water, my gas, my mileage, my depreciation on my vehicle, all of that through my income and the W-4 wealth strategy is a tax deduction for me, right? Things that I would pay anyway. So, hey, I'm going to give you all an update on this client. I really wanted to do this client credit report because it was what I deemed as a challenge. But just know when you're talking about getting something like bankruptcies off your credit report, bankruptcies are tough as well. I tell clients to expect 6 months to a year. Now, I have gotten bankruptcies off in 40 days, but certain regulations applied. Either that bankruptcy was scheduled to come off 2 months ahead of time, either it was the dismissed bankruptcy. And so everything is different. So let me give you all, everybody's credit situation is different, right? Let me give you all this last thing. When you're reading your credit report, right? Experian, what it stands out for Experian to me when reading your credit report is that it shows you the status detail, meaning that it will tell you the status of your account in very detail. This account was a charge off, it's sold to collection, or if it wasn't sold to collection and the company wrote $4,700 off, it will show you the status in very detailed. Experian is great for that. Now, TransUnion is good for showing you reports that are satisfactory or unsatisfactory. And TransUnion also is good for having color-coded boxes. Like, so if you're 90-day late, you might have a yellow or red, or 120-day late, right? And if you're 30-day late, it may be a green box. And so it's very user-friendly. They're real good for showing you accounts that's satisfactory and unsatisfactory, and accounts that's open and closed. Knowing what accounts are open and closed is a great strategy to use, and what you want to dispute first. You don't have to forgive me. I'm hot. I'm just hot, and I'm gonna cut off the my daughter has that heater up, and I'm gonna cut it down in a few minutes when I get out. And so, Equifax, in my opinion, the hardest report to read. Equifax is really hard to read. Their late pays are coded by numbers. You know, if it's a 90-day late, it'd be a number 7, a number 8, or something like that. So it's all coded by numbers, but they also show accounts that are open and closed. And it's good as well. And so what you need to know by looking at your credit report, someone on Periscope mentioned 611. What Fair Credit Report Act 611 says that, hey, either your account is incomplete, it's unverified. I talked about what accounts you need to earlier. Need verification on. Every account does not require verification. Only those signature accounts, installment, charge-offs, loans that you enter into agreement with, bankruptcies, right? What accounts are incomplete? Fair Credit Reporting Act 611. Some people don't even know what incomplete means. What does an incomplete account look like? Are unverifiable, incomplete, and inaccurate. Those are the three beginning points of getting anything. It's just like a report card, right? A and B is a good grade, a passing grade. You got a C, D, or F. You know, your credit scores varies from low as 300 to 850. C, D, or F means you're failing. And you know what? If you have a low credit score, you can always hit the reset button. Rick said, I bought land I live on. I started a small business for recycling. Allowed to earn $1,800 a month. All right, Rick. And Rick, you're in California? Okay, good deal. So, man, keep your credit up. I hate telling young people to be frugal. I don't tell them to be frugal. I tell young folks, get you some assets. And let me do this, and I'm logging off. When I was in California, my daughter, I teach her this all the time, and I teach you, but this time she was forced to listen because we was with an Uber driver, right? And I have it right here. I had another one. We were in an Uber, and the Uber driver from California named Kenneth was on his phone with his brother his brother was in Africa, and he was telling me how his brother just saying how if you had $100,000 in Africa, how you can be rich, right? And you can invest in businesses. And he was contemplating taking a trip to visit his brother in Africa for $1,400. And we got on the topic of money, right? And how this is how money was printed, right? It has on here $20 bill, gold certificate. This is how money used to be printed, right? It was really backed by gold. And so you can find this on YouTube. In 1971, President Nixon decided that, hey, we're going to take the printed dollar off of the gold standard, because right now, what they have on the dollars that you work so hard for, the rich don't work for this. They work for assets. They use this to convert it into something. This is my monopoly. These are my 4 houses. The whole thing of monopoly is get the assets. 4 houses, 1 green hotel. This is the fake money in monopoly. This represents the same fake money, and this is my green hotel. The same fake money that you're working so hard for today. And so 1971, they decided to take it off the gold standard. I think France was even coming and said, hey, we dumping your dollars. We want our physical gold, because then gold was stored in banks. And the United States said, well, hey, we better take it off the gold standard, because we don't want to give up the real money, the real assets. And so if you listen to the video, President Nixon, just, Google it on YouTube, said this would be a temporary suspension. So people were under the impression that printed money would be temporarily off the gold standard. In 2019, it hasn't even been put back on the gold standard. And so with this false belief that it still was backed by gold, right? People thought that it was valuable. But if you look on any dollar, any printed money that you have, it's going to state on there, this is a note for legal tender. So what is a promissory note? What is a note? It's a promise to pay. It's a promise to pay. And so companies now or states or countries, that are getting these printed money and legal tenders are still under the impression that we're going to one day receive the real physical gold. And that's why the terrorists in China is saying, you know what? We're going to position ourselves to be the global economy, because we're tired of taking America's dollars that's not worth anything. It's not backed by anything but good faith. They're saying they're going to give us a promise to pay us the real money. We're not going to really get our gold. So this is the philosophy that Robert Kiyosaki. Why not use your credit? Why not use their banking entries? Why not use this paper money that's only backed by their good faith, that's saying one day you're going to get a promise, you're going to get a note, you're going to get the real money that's gold. If you look it up, Constitution tells you that real money is silver and gold, and it's just a promise. It's just a promissory note. So why not flip this? Why not use your credit? Why not leverage your credit and go to the bank, and you have good credit, and use the bank's money and get the real assets? Because that you all know that debt also, meaning that credit from the bank, also helps you lower your taxable income. And if you get, let's say you invest in a $250,000 4-unit duplex, and you want to rent it out, right? And you get a $300,000 loan against it. That also helps CYA cover your assets. So if you have tenants and someone slips and falls on your property, someone get hurt and injured, and they try to come after you and sue you, they can only sue you for the $50,000, because that $250,000 is tied up into banks. And did you know also that if you already have business in place and you have high business income, that taking out a loan in the business name will reduce your amount of earned income for the year. So even if you get rental properties and you're cash flowing, that money has to be counted as income for tax purposes. If you get out a loan in the company names, that lowers your taxable income, because the loan is looked at as liability and debt that the company has to use. So it's so many great things you can do with credit. People do like Sawanda did on Facebook, get that credit consultation. My website for your credit consultation, again, like I also do Cashflow. Also, I help people save thousands and thousands of dollars from paying debt collectors. I got from paying debt collectors, because debt collectors have to have proper validation. And I'm not talking about those free letters that you find on the internet that's asking you to validate this debt. Show me the amount is what you say I owe, blah, blah, blah. Show me that you're a legal collector in that state. That's not the validation. It's going to save you, from them coming after you again for debt. So I offer all these consultation services, credit, cash flow, and debt collector. Also, I'm offering business credit. I'm getting everything set up for that. So if you, whatever platform you're on, follow me. I normally post more on Facebook and YouTube. And hey, thank you all. Thank you so much for the super chats tonight on YouTube. This is my YouTube family. I love you all so much. Thank you for Periscope. And thanks for tuning in on Facebook. Hey, this is Queen of Credit here. You all have a great night. Do you prepare